Well, hello guys. Hello guys. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm in capital city of Saudi Arabia, which is Riyadh. Name of this place is Alula in Jeddah. Let's see how it goes.
You just put your torch here. Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Different god and goddess. We can talk in here, for example, about the primary one, the chief god Dhu Ashar.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. And as I mentioned in the last vlog, I came to a different place today, and the name of this place is Alula. I just came over here I think 15 minutes ago, and I'm running late to catch a tour for the sightseeing, and I'm pretty much staying out in the desert, so I don't have any option to go to the city like Uber or anything. So the guy from the hotel is helping me out. So guys, I came to the location, but apparently over here I cannot find anyone who is taking the tour. Fortunately, with the help of a guy, I'm heading to the direction where the tour operator instructed to go. So it seems like this is the bus This is the place for the tour. And let's see how it goes. Experience Alula. ಹೇಗೆ
ticket bus أصحاب سكان. أصحاب سكان بس وتطلع الباص.
English?
You have scan.
No, no scan. Okay. Tamam?
Okay.
Shukran, shukran.
Okay.
Shukran. In the bus, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So everything is fine now. I think I was the last passenger. So the bus is empty, and I hope I'm not the only passenger. I'm not the only person on this tour. I thought like I was late and I was the last one, but as you can see, the whole bus is empty. So I was the first one, apparently. So I will share you as much information as I can on this tour about Alula, and as I'll be over here only for one day and one night, so basically just like 24 hours. I'll tell you later why I kept such a short time for Alula, and I will also share you some of the useful information like how you can plan your trip to Alula, yeah, at the end of this vlog once I reach back to my hotel. And so the tour has started. I mean, we started moving on the road, and there is no one on the bus. It's just me and the driver. So I think I'm the only one on this tour. So yes, that was a quick bus ride to the entrance point of Agra, and I was alone, and here's my host too. Hello. Shukran, shukran. So you will be the guide for the tour.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So he'll be my guide for the tour, and I think we'll be going in open jeep or something in 4x4 in the desert. So basically this is the visitor center where you join your group and get some refreshments before the start of the tour. So basically, the Hegra was um, the second capital of Nabatean kingdom. So the first capital was Petra, which we saw in Jordan. And so we have reached to the first point of the tour, and I think it's going to be a comfortable tour because we are having a nice luxurious AC coach, and there are like I think 3-4 people from the company who will be our tour guides. Let me show you around.
Okay, so welcome everyone to Hagra Al-Hijr in Arabic. My name is Hadil and I'm gonna be the storyteller or the rawi for you in this journey. Today we're gonna take you in a journey through the time from more than 2,000 years ago to the time of the Nabateans. My colleagues Fahad and Fawaz, they're gonna join the journey as rangers. They are responsible to preserve our heritage site and to make your experience much better. My colleagues, they're going to share with you the instructions about the site. I kindly ask you to follow them. So in this heritage site, we're not allowed to climb up this mountain and also riding in the mountains. Keep up to the path always, and if you want to smoke, we do have smoking areas in the parking slot. This is all about it. Enjoy taking lots of photos. If you have any question, we'll be glad to help you in the tour. So this is a magnificent hall. You can see the hard work that the Nabateans did. Have you ever heard about the Nabateans?
Yes.
Have you been to Petra before?
Yes.
Great. And here we are gonna complete the journey of the Nabateans. The Nabateans were about some Arabic tribes. They came from Petra in Jordan over 2,000 years ago. They wanted to build a new home. This is why they traveled all the way from Petra to reach these northern parts in the northern Arabian Peninsula at that time, so they can build a huge settlement that can last for a long time. So they specifically came or reached this area in the 1st century BC. They lasted in here till 106 CE. After that, the Romans came after them and they were banned. They came in here for many reasons. Hijra was located, for example, on an international trade route in the Northern Arabian Peninsula. So as a point or a hub on that road, the people who were living in here, they used to deal with many other cultures who were coming or passing by this road, so they can sell and buy with them lots of precious goods, incense, spices. So it was always busy. It was an economic reason for them to stay in here also and flourish. Also, if you have a look around you, please do. We can see lots of green lands. You have just arrived an oasis in the middle of the desert. We do have plenty of water in here. So if we have water, we can build a life. And this is why the Nabateans choose Hijra in specific, so they can come in here and build a Hijra city. Also, the mountains around you, one of the reasons to choose them also so they can carve in here lots of incredible things, as this hall that you can see in front of you. This hall is actually, we know it as a diwan. A diwan is a place was built for the elite members, like social activities. Elite members, leaders, they used to gather in here so they can talk about political and the tribal discussions belong to the kingdom. These are representing their seats where they sit and talk about these topics. Sometimes we can imagine that we do have some women, men dancing, singing. We can talk about tables, for example, where they can put the meat, the fruit, and then they can celebrate and run a festival in this area. On the left of the diwan, we do have a passage. We're gonna take a walk now, so we can reach another area where they do some religious ritual things over there, and we're gonna talk more about what they do in this mountain. We can talk in here, for example, about the primary one, the chief god Dhu Ash-Shara, and usually they represent Dhu Ash-Shara with the eagle. We can see clearly the eagle in here, sometimes two urns or jars. We can talk about different niches with different gods. You can see them everywhere. This is, for example, a different god, and we know its name from the Nabatean inscription in the tomb. Can you see the inscription? You're gonna enjoy, this is like an open air library between the mountains. You're gonna enjoy seeing lots of inscriptions, writings, where they can left their marks, their stories behind them. This inscription is actually can tell us about the Arabic writing. They do speak Arabic, as I do, but the writing or the handwriting was different. This was developed before the Arabic, like the modern Arabic writing. So we need help from some specialists in ancient writing, so they can translate them to us. This inscription tells us about a person who came from another Nabatean city in Syria, and he came all the way, Damascus. He came all the way from there to Jabal Ithlib, so he can carve out this niche for Al-A'ra god. So we know that this column could represent Al-A'ra god. Same as the other niches, sometimes we can find the inscription to tell us more info about it, about the name. Okay, let's complete our way. You can see some images of petroglyphs. Can you see them? Yes. See, can you recognize camels? The camels always, you're going to see them in everywhere, and on the Alula's mountain, representing the long journey of the traders and the camels. And they choose a perfect place, actually, a sacred place. When you pass from this area, everybody can see it clearly. This was different from a recent time. Have a look into this sitting area. Just run your imagination. Imagine that we do have a bunch of worshippers they reach this area so they can have an access to this sitting area in order to worship their deities and God. We can imagine some of them sitting a fire, some of them bringing some food, feast, so they can offer them to the God. We have discovered so many inscriptions that can tell us about what kind of things they offer. They can offer some dates, they can offer some animals to the God so they can bless their families, their kids. We have discovered about 5 sittings like this one. The more you go from here, you can find lots of them. Usually these sitting areas are surrounded with water source. We can see, for example, on the right of the sitting area over there is a hole. It's not deep actually. This was used to store the water, and specific the rainwater. So when the Nabateans actually came to Hijra, they started to build lots of wells. We do have more than 130 wells in Hijra where they can get the water, the underground water from. Also, they took the advantage from the rainwater so they can use it during their ritual process. And here, with carving out a hole, the idea behind the hole is actually to collect the rainwater from some cisterns. They carve them out into the mountains. At the moment, we're not allowed to go and see the cisterns, but we can talk about it briefly. So the cistern was actually about carving out a room into the mountain that goes deep for more than 20 meters. This room is actually connected with canal that will reach the top of the mountain, like that one. I think you can see the canal from here.
Oh yeah.
Do you see it?
From top to down or from down?
It's not natural. They carved it up. From actually connecting the entrance of the room, and then will take you to the top of the mountain. When we have rain, the water can go easily through these canals to fill the cisterns down there with water. After the rain, they go to that area so they can reach the cistern and then collect the water manually. We do believe that they do have some wooden buckets, carriages, so they can help themselves to fill these basins with water. After that, they can use the water as a maybe holy water during the activities they do in here.
So that was the first stop on this tour, and it was nice and informative because over here there is nothing that says anything about this place that shares the information. So basically, coming on this tour is the best thing that you can do, as you can learn a lot of things about the Nabateans and also Hijra, also this place. Let me show you from here. So this is the second stop, and over here some hiking is involved, but they also have golf carts, so you can use them. I'm not going to hike in this heat in the desert, so yeah, I'm going to take this golf cart.
square. You see it? If you focus, you can see some writings, inscriptions inside. Usually, when the archaeologists start to look for a tomb, the first thing they look for is these inscriptions, because these inscriptions can give us some info about the family owner. The name of the carver, the name of the owner. Sometimes they write some curses if they want to prevent anyone from entering the tomb. So, for example, this is a tomb belonged to a doctor. His name is Kahlan, the son of Wa'il. Kahlan ibn Wa'il, Tabib. Knowing the fact that we do have a doctor, we can tell that they were not only some rock carvers. We do have doctors, we do have teachers, we do have an educated people working in many jobs in here. So Kahlan, he owned a very special tomb. In Hijra, the tombs are different from one to another. For example, in size, this is actually a big one, a big tomb. And this was, the Girls Mountain was a mountain for wealthy family, rich family. This is why you can see all these big tombs decorated to facade as well. One of the primary things that you will see as well on most of Hijra's tombs is the two pillars on the sides. These are Nabataean pillars. They put it as a decoration in here. We can see the urns or the jars next to the eagle. Usually they come with a primary god on the tombs. We can see some flowers. These flowers, they put it in here as a decoration. We do believe that they may represent some Egyptian influences. This area was located on an international trade route at that time, so they used to deal with many other cultures that they were maybe influenced with. Some of the archaeologists suggested that the triangle on top of the scary face could be a Roman influences. Roman, Egyptian, sometimes we can see Greek influences that's coming from the urns, that they use them in the cremation. And when we go up to the triangle, we can see some lions, decoration, lions, and then when we go to the top, we can see some steps or crow steps. You see them? These are one of the primary things that you will see in the Nabataean architecture. Usually these steps are representing a passage taking the soul of the dead up to the heaven. There was doors, yes. A wooden door. Sometimes they used the iron in order to protect the tombs from the inside from robberies at that time.
What does a snake do?
The snakes? Okay, so we do have a scary face with snakes. If you saw a scary face, we know that the scary face are probably representing guardian for the tombs. They do believe the afterlife idea. They dedicated their life in order to bury a person in a well-preserved way. This is why they put these features so they can use them as a guardians and protect the valuable things they have. We can see the eagle that we saw it before in our first stop, Shara god, the primary god, and same as the guardian features. We can talk about Shara, the primary god. They put it in here also to protect the tombs in Hijra, what they believe in. You can see clearly. They do have a school teaching them how they carve. They used to climb up this mountain using special tools, and then they start to carve out the tomb, starting from the top till they reach the bottom. You can follow the number on the right of the tomb. We do have in here tomb that comes with number 45. We're gonna take this way now so we can have our walk to reach a tomb that comes with number 26 to see it from the inside. So let's have our walk. Let's go. the unique palace. This is a tomb, but it looks like a palace. And Rahman owned this tomb for himself and the whole family. If you had a look into the lower section of the tomb, you can see some blocks coming out of the facade. You see them? Looks like benches. أسفل الواجهة عندنا مربعات. So these blocks next to the door can tell us about how they build the tomb, the process that the rock carvers go through. So first, in order to build the tomb, the rock carver needs to climb up this mountain using special tools, simple chisel, hammer, some simple picks. And then they start to divide the rock into sections. And then they start from the top to carve out a section by section, section by section, section by section. When they reach the lower section, they start to go more deep so they can carve out the burials inside, and then they smooth it till the end, and then they lock the door with some wooden doors, and then the owner can receive his own tomb, her own tomb, and they own it for themselves and the whole family. After that, they can start bury their deads in there. Usually when the carver finish this process, when they reach the lower section, they remove the blocks that you can see next to the door, but in here we can see them unremoved because this was unfinished tomb, uncompleted tomb. When we tell you unfinished tomb, we can know that no one was buried in here because they needed to finish it first, but they did not, and we still do not know why the owner did not finish his own tomb. Even if you enter this tomb from the inside, it's empty, actually, empty walls. No holes or shelves where they can put the bodies in. It's a mystery, and the archaeologists are still looking for more answers to this story. We can see 4 columns, and we can see that this was actually on an individual outcrops. No other tombs can be seen around, and it's actually on a very strategic location between this vast landscape.
So that tomb of Lian, son of Kuza, yeah. So it was quite a cool experience to see that tomb. It was a magnificent one, I would say, because it was there in the middle of nowhere, just one rock, and I would say it was much more better to experience that thing, to witness that thing, than the monastery at Petra, than the treasury at Petra, I would say, not the monastery. And the fact that Saudi Arabia is still growing and it's in its early days of tourism, you get to see these places by your own, and it's like so peaceful. There are no other tourists disturbing you. And right now we are at the last stop of the tour.
When they got into the first one on the right side, that one comes with number 117. So they entered that tomb and they had found we can talk about more than 80 individuals, skeletons, parts of bones that belong to one family. And if you want to know about the family, we can go directly to the frame. What was written in that tomb is that tomb 117 belong to woman. Her name is Hayna, the daughter of Wahab. Hayna now is the queen of Hijra. We do have in here an exhibition. You can reach it in the visitor center that can tell you more about that interesting tomb. Because from her tomb, we know how the Nabateans used to bury their dead. When they got her body, they found the most complete body that was well preserved, and they suggested that this belonged to the owner. So she was actually well preserved with some fabrics and materials. We can talk about 3 layers of fabrics. The first one was from wool dyed with the red color, and then rougher linen, and then a harsh leather as a last layer, and then they wrap it with some rods, and then they put the body on a wooden board, and then multiple persons carry that body for a distance until they put it inside the tomb, and then they lock the tomb from the outside with wooden door. We know this actually from tomb 117. The other tombs that comes with no facade, also full of individuals. We can talk about 45, 42, 42. So the archaeologists, the interesting part that after this story that happened in here, they started to remove more sand, more rocks where they can find hidden stuff, and they found more tombs nobody had access before. So we're still waiting for more things to happen in here. The archaeologists are working so hard, and the excavation has just started since 2008, and it's still ongoing. This is all about it. You can see hyena's face as they imagined from the skull they found in here, and the exhibition in the visitor center after the tour. The story is unfinished. Yeah, we may see you once again sharing with you the updates about what's happening here from the archaeological team. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, shukran.
If you heard about the face rock, you can see it when you reach the bus. It's a natural one.
And so this was a tour from Hira, and it's time to go back from where we started to the visitor center, and I'll see over there if I can share some more information about this place and the history of this place. And so the tour is officially finished, and I think I'm supposed to go back to my bus, and that bus will take me back to the place from where it all started. I think you can also come by a rented car. Like those people came by themselves, I think. They came in their own car.